I gave an AI agent full control of my workday. 8 hours, no supervision at all. Real tasks from my actual job, real deadlines, real colleagues and managers waiting for deliverables. By the end of the day, I had 23 outputs ready to review. And when I reviewed them carefully, I found 23 mistakes I would not have caught if I had been moving fast the way I normally do. Some of the mistakes were small: a wrong date in a status update, a slightly off number in a summary, things I would have caught before sending if I was paying attention. But some were not small at all. One email I had asked the agent to draft to a senior stakeholder contained context from an entirely different project. The agent had pulled information from the wrong place in my work history. If I had sent that email, the stakeholder would have been confused, I would have looked unprepared, and I would have spent the next hour explaining a mistake that should never have happened. This video is about exactly what I learned, where AI agents genuinely save time, where they will quietly get you into trouble, and what to do instead. The 3 rules that prevent every single type of mistake I experienced that day. Welcome back to Zero Click Work. This channel tests free AI tools on real professional tasks and reports the honest results. In the AI 4 of 7 video, I tested individual AI tools on individual tasks. 1 prompt, 1 output, 1 review. The result was honest and specific. 4 tasks replaced, 3 it could not touch. Today, I went one important step further. An AI agent is different from a basic AI chatbot in one fundamental way. A chatbot answers 1 prompt at a time. An agent plans a sequence of tasks, executes them one after another, and produces a series of outputs with minimal input from you in between. The promise is genuinely powerful. Set up the agent in the morning, give it your tasks for the day, come back to finished work at the end. I tested that promise on 5 real tasks from my actual work: a weekly status report, a research summary on a current topic, 4 email drafts to different people, a code review task, processing and summarizing meeting notes, 8 hours, 1 agent, no supervision, 23 mistakes. Here's exactly what happened. Let me start with where it worked, because this is not an anti-AI video and I want to be honest about the real time savings I experienced. Task 1, weekly status report. I gave the agent my raw notes for the week, bullet points, incomplete sentences, the same messy starting material I always have. The agent drafted a professional status update, around 300 words, executive-friendly structure, all the key points present. I made 2 small edits and sent it. Total time on my side, 8 minutes. Normally, this takes me between 40 and 50 minutes on a bad week. That is a genuine and significant time saving. Task 2, research summary. I gave the agent a research question and 5 source documents to process. 1 hour of reading on my end normally. The agent produced a clean 300-word summary with the key findings clearly separated and prioritized correctly. I reviewed it, added 1 point I felt was missing, sent it. Total time, 12 minutes. On structured tasks where all the information needed to produce the output was already in my input, the agent performed genuinely well. That distinction is critical. Remember it, because it explains every single mistake that came after it. Now the mistakes, 23 in total across 5 tasks. They fall into 3 clear categories, and understanding the pattern is more useful than the number. Category 1, wrong context, 9 mistakes. The agent had access to multiple projects in my work history. When drafting email communications, it occasionally pulled context from the wrong project entirely. The worst example was an email to a senior stakeholder. The agent referenced a deadline from a completely different client relationship. The stakeholder would have been confused. I would have looked unprepared for a conversation I had been preparing for. Category 2, outdated information. 8 mistakes. The agent worked from the information I had provided at the start of the day. By mid-afternoon, that information had changed in several places. A meeting time had shifted, a project status had been updated, a decision had been reversed. The agent did not know any of this. Its outputs were based on morning context, even when producing work for 3 in the afternoon. Category 3, overconfident summaries. 6 mistakes. On 2 separate research summaries, the agent stated conclusions with full confidence that the source documents did not actually support. Not fabricated information, but overstated interpretation. The kind of overstatement that sounds plausible in a summary and gets questioned immediately when someone checks the original source. 3 categories. 9 plus 8 plus 6 equals 23. All of them fixable with the right approach. All of them preventable with 3 simple rules. Now remember what I said at the beginning. On structured tasks, tasks where all the information needed to produce a good output was already in my input, the agent performed well. Every single mistake happened on contextual tasks. Tasks that require information that is not in any document I could paste into a prompt. The agent cannot know which stakeholder had a difficult meeting last month. It cannot know which project had a budget cut that changed everything. It cannot know that the context from 2 months ago no longer applies today. That missing layer of information is exactly what produced all 23 mistakes. This is the same core insight from the AI 4 of 7 video. AI performs well on input to output tasks. Raw notes in, clean report out, error message in, probable causes out, long document in, bullet summary out. AI fails on tasks where the critical information that would make the output correct does not exist in any document. It exists in your memory, your experience, your relationships, your judgment. The difference with agents compared to basic tools is that agents work autonomously, so the failure happens before you have a chance to catch it in real time. That is why review is not optional. Review is the entire job. So should you never use AI agents? No. The time savings on the right tasks are real. 40 minutes saved on a status report every week. That is real time back in your day every single week. But 3 rules will prevent every type of mistake I experienced. Rule 1. Use agents only for structured tasks. If the task requires information that you have not explicitly given the agent in your initial setup, write it as a regular prompt instead. Not an agent task. The moment contextual knowledge is required and you have not provided it, the agent will invent something that sounds plausible but is wrong. Rule 2. Always review before sending every output every single time. The purpose of the agent is to save you production time, not review time. Review is still your job. It is non-negotiable. Rule 3. Give the agent a context brief before starting any session. Who you are, what project this task relates to, what has changed since your last session, what the stakeholder relationship context is. This takes 30 seconds, and it eliminates Category 1 mistakes entirely. Wrong context errors happen because the agent guesses at context when none is provided. Provide it and the guessing stops. 3 rules, 0 extra cost to implement, starting today. Now the practical question, which free tool works best as an agent? Claude using Projects is currently the strongest option available on a free tier. Claude Projects gives you a persistent context for a specific project. Documents, instructions, background information, and role context all stay in one place. Every task you run within that project automatically has access to that context. This directly prevents Category 1 mistakes. Instead of pulling from everywhere in your history, Claude pulls only from what you have given the project. The context is controlled and specific. For structured tasks within a well-set-up project, the quality is genuinely impressive. Better than anything I have seen on a free tier before. ChatGPT has a similar feature called Custom GPTs. It is available on ChatGPT Plus only. The free tier of ChatGPT does not include custom GPTs. Claude Projects is free. Gemini also has a comparable feature called Gems, available on the free tier. I have tested it less thoroughly, but for long document tasks, it is strong. My recommendation for most Indian IT professionals, start with Claude Projects. It is free. It handles very long documents. It is the tool I have tested most thoroughly, and it is the one that produced the best structured results in my 8-hour experiment. Here is the honest verdict. AI agents are real. The time savings on structured tasks are real. Status reports, research summaries, document processing, these are genuine wins. But the current state of agents in 2026 is significantly behind where the hype says it is. Research from MIT published this year found that AI agents make too many judgment errors for most businesses to rely on them for any process involving significant decisions or external stakeholder communication. My experiment confirms that finding 23 mistakes in 8 hours on tasks that looked straightforward before I started. The honest position for any IT professional today: use agents for structured low-stakes tasks only. Give them all the context they need up front. Review every output before it leaves your hands. That step cannot be delegated. Never assign a task that requires organizational context you have not explicitly provided. That is not pessimism. That is what separates professionals who use agents effectively from professionals who send embarrassing emails to senior stakeholders. The professionals who understand exactly where agents help and where they fail are already ahead of the people who are still following the hype. One more thing before the outro. If you have not watched the AI 4 of 7 video on this channel, watch it after this one. That video showed you which specific tasks AI replaced when I tested individual tools on individual work tasks. The pattern in both videos is identical. AI works on structured input to output tasks. AI fails on contextual tasks that require organizational memory, relationship context, or accountability for consequences. Understanding that pattern is the most practically useful thing any IT professional can know about working with AI in 2026. Not the most exciting thing, not the most quoted thing, but the most useful thing. And every tool we tested in both videos is completely free. Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, all in the description below. All free tools are linked in the description below. One question for you. Have you ever sent an AI output without catching a mistake first? And are the tasks you give AI structured or contextual? Drop both in the comments. I read every reply. If this helped, hit like. Subscribe if you are not already. Next week, I am uploading my salary slip to Claude. 3 minutes, 7 things found. 2 my CA never mentioned. Full experiment goes live next week. See you then.